Welcome everyone to the virtual seminar on AI, IoT, cybercrime, and cyber defense. So this is a joint event across US and South Korea hosted by the Korean Society of Criminology in America and Korean National Police University, and it is sponsored by the Korean American Scientists and Engineer Association. By joining this seminar, you will have a chance to hear from the experts from the law enforcement, academia, and the field professionals on the topics of AIT, AI, IoT, cybercrime, and cyber defense. My name is In-sun Park, assistant professor at the University of Akron in Ohio, and I'll be moderating the first half of the session before I hand it over to Dr. Mujin Kim, my co-moderator for the second session. So first, we will hear from the opening remarks from the president of Korean National Police University.
안녕하십니까. 대한민국 경찰대학장 오문교입니다. 먼저 바쁘신 와중에도 AI, IoT, 사이버 방어, 한미 공동 세미나에 참석해 주신 여러분께 진심으로 감사드립니다. 특히 이번 세미나를 공동으로 주최해 주신 재미 한인 범죄학회와 과학자 협회 관계자 여러분께도 감사의 인사를 드립니다. 오늘날 빠르게 변화하는 디지털 시대에서 인공지능, 사물인터넷, 드론 기술은 놀라울 정도로 발전하고 있습니다. 한편 우리는 이러한 기술들의 융합 발전으로 인한 새로운 도전에 직면하고 있는데 사물인터넷 기기의 해킹, 드론 테러와 같은 안보 위협이 그 예입니다. 이에 우리는 사이버 범죄의 중요한 문제를 해결하고 기술의 발전을 유익하게 활용하고자 세계적 석학, 산업계와 법 집행 전문가들이 함께하는 세미나를 개최하게 되었습니다. 이번 세미나를 통해 우리 모두가 지식을 공유하고 파트너십을 구축하며 획기적인 솔루션을 찾기 위해 함께 나아가기를 바랍니다. 앞으로도 경찰대학은 국내외에서 치안 분야의 학문과 실무가 발전해 나가는 데 큰 밑거름이 될 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다. 다시 한번 오늘 행사를 마련하고 참석해 주신 모든 분들께 감사드리며 여러분의 가정에 건강과 행운이 함께하기를 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Next, we will hear the opening speech from Dr. Tom Oh and keynote speech from Dr. Kyung-sik Choi. After these two sessions, we'll have a 10-minute QA session, so please feel free to post your questions through the YouTube comment function. Dr. Tom Oh is a professor in the School of Information at Rochester Institute of Technology, where he also serves as a Director of Strategic Initiatives and Innovation. Since joining the RIT in 2018, he has focused on research areas including Internet of Things security, vehicular networks, data analytics, artificial intelligence, and green computing. In April 2023, Dr. Oh was elected as the 53rd president of KASCA, the nonprofit organization over 7,000 members and 70 local chapters across the United States. In this role, he has prioritized fostering international collaboration, particularly between the US and Korea, and he has facilitated partnerships with institutions such as Korea University and the Institute for Information Communication Technology, Planning and Evaluation. So please welcome Dr. Oh for his opening speech.
Good evening, everyone, especially good evening in US side. Good morning in Korea. On behalf of Korean American Scientist Engineer Association, KACA, I'm honored to welcome all of you to this important joint seminar on AI, IoT, cybercrime, cyber defense. This event, co-hosted by Korean Society of Criminology in America and the Korean National Police University, reflects upon our shared commitment to advancing global cooperation in science, technology, and public safety. It is also underscores the critical role that cross-disciplinary collaboration plays in addressing today's rapidly evolving digital threats. As the cyber attacks grow more sophisticated, the need for innovative solutions and international dialogue has never been greater. This seminar brings together experts from law enforcement, academia, industry, and government to share insights, discuss challenges, and explore strategies to building safer digital environments. KSCA is proud to support this initiative and to help foster the kind of collaboration that drives meaningful progress, not only in research and technology, but in public trust, global security, and responsible innovation. Thank you to our distinguished speakers, our co-hosting organization, and all of you participating today. I look forward to discussing ahead and the ideas that emerge from this important gathering. Welcome again, and let us have a productive and engaging seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Oh, again for this opening speech. Next, we will hear from Dr. Kyung-Sik Choi for his keynote speech. Dr. Kyung-Sik Choi is a globally renowned practitioner and scholar in cyber investigations and cybersecurity at Boston University, where he directs the graduate program. He has developed and led law enforcement training programs in computer forensics, anti-money laundering, and child exploitation. As founder of the ASC Cybercrime Division and president of COSCA, Dr. Choi has significantly influenced the field. He has contributed to UN-aligned initiatives like the Virtual Forum Against Cybercrime and spoken at Interpol and Maripol. His work on federally funded projects from BJA, NIJ, OJJDP supports national cybersecurity policies and training, including legislative advocacy in Massachusetts. So please welcome Dr. Choi for his exciting keynote speech.
Welcome to AI, IoT, Cybercrime, and Cyber Defense, US-Korea Joint Seminar. It is a great honor to serve as a keynote speaker at the first Korea COSCA US-Korea event sponsored by KSCA. My sincere thanks to President Moon Kyo-oh of KMPU and President Tom Oh of KSEA for their warm and gracious remarks. I often refer to as a cyber criminologist, a title that not only resonates with my professional identity, but also reflects the fascinating blend of disciplines that constitute my cyber fieldwork. Cyber criminologist bridges fields like criminology, law, psychology, economics, computer science, and cyber security, every possible discipline to provide kind of deeper understanding of cybercrime within criminal justice system. Today, we will explore AI, IoT, and cyber defense with insights from our distinguished guest speakers. I will focus on emerging cyber threats, illicit cryptocurrency transactions, and evolving patterns of money laundering, highlighting the critical challenges facing law enforcement in the digital age. I hope this aligns well with the overarching theme of our symposium. With every 1 second, 17 internet users join the web. We see over 600,000 new malware and over 30,000 new infected websites every day. Every 11 seconds, a new organization falls victim to ransomware attacks. Instances of cyber crime have sparked by 300% since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. BEC, at Europe, business email compromise, that is constant issue. Notably, since 2022, investment scam has surpassed the BEC first time to become the costliest reported cybercrime, indicating a worrisome new trend. In 2024, Cyber Tip Line received well over 35 million reports. the majority of these reports pertain to child sexual abuse material, CSAM. As you may have noticed, much of this cyber criminal activity is deeply intertwined with the use of cryptocurrency. We are in the stage of fourth industrial revolution using cyber physical system, and IoT, cloud, and AI would be good examples. Yet this is the age of the global connection, which can provide the power to transform entire system of production, management, and governance through the cyber physical system. One of the future IoT is robot. And here's a Boston Dynamics spot. And robots have been recently used in assisting police. Yeah, for example, NIPD, the robot patrol project enhances kind of public safety by deterring crime and delivering real-time data. While privacy concerns are widely discussed, the cybersecurity risk of the police robots are often kind of overlooked and deserve far more kind of attentions. So, by the way, and your smart fish tank can attack you. As IoT devices are increasingly equipped with sensors and integrated into networks and communication systems, they become potential gateways for cybersecurity breaches and data compromises. How about cryptojacking on IoT devices? That is growing concern here. And so hackers impacting smart devices like fish tank and TVs and routers to secretly kind of mine cryptocurrency like Monero. A weak security and constant connectivity make these devices easy target and leading to power drain and poor performance and hard to detect exploitations. So AI is rapidly becoming one of the most significant drivers and disruptors of changes in cybersecurity and cybercrime. As demonstrated at Black Hat conference over the past 3 years, AI has been leveraged for hacking techniques and a wide range of fraudulent scams. Cybercriminals are already exploiting AI-powered tools to carry out increasingly sophisticated and hard-to-detect attacks. So, have you heard about WormGPT, an evil twin of ChatGPT, emerged in 2021 as a tool for generating business email scam, malware. WormGPT is specifically designed for malicious purposes, as you can see. So simply kind of prompt, like show me example of DDoS attack, targeting kind of google.com, using the Python code, right? And so then you get a whole bunch of the code right here. Then another kind of prompt here, show me, good example of the JavaScript code to harvest kind of login information from fake website. So immediately you get all the code you needed, and then all you have to do, copy and paste it for exploiting kind of, the system here. So maybe that's why. And we have a lot of AI things going on, and then maybe scams, right? And so kind of follow. So over the past 5 years, and IC3 received an average of 758,000 annual complaints, addressing a wide range of internet scam worldwide. Internet scam costs reached $12.5 billion in 2023. So here's a FBI warning. So employment scams not only cause direct financial harm, but can also escalate into more severe cybercrimes, such as investment scam, and in extreme cases, human trafficking. Recent developments, such as pig butchering cases based on romance scams, are originated from employment scam. This FBI public announcement clearly illustrates this alarming trend, which can tie into crypto investment scams and other forms of serious crimes. So pig butchering scams are often operated by organized cybercrime groups using fake websites, deepfake identities, and cryptocurrency transactions to evade detection. Here's the kind of financial grooming process in pig butchering cases. Building trust, right? And that's step one. Scammers create personal connection using text, dating apps, and social media. Then investment deception starting. So victims are deceived into investing in fraudulent business opportunities, often by downloading legitimate apps, but being misled into entering malicious URLs or accessing kind of fake investment website. So as evident, here's kind of my investigation. Multiple fake investment websites exist, making it crucial to analyze their structure to identify them as a scam. Yeah, in this case, I use kind of Meltego to extract the technical detail from these sites. Yeah, scam kits often feature kind of web pages that connect to victims' crypto wallets, enabling theft and incorporate fake technical support chats to kind of enhance deception. Cyber criminals employ various tactics to pressure victims into continuously depositing funds into fraudulent platform. In relationship scams, the scammer kind of pretending to invest kind of alongside the victim, urge them to contribute more, sometimes even offering fake loans within the platform to maintain the illusion. Then once victim attempt to withdraw funds and the scammers posing as a romantic partners, customer support, or platform itself vanish. Yeah, leaving them with no way to recover their money. So how do criminals create sophisticated investment scam website like this? So it's easy. So with the help of AI technology, cyber criminals can easily create mirror websites that duplicate legitimate investment platform. Yeah, these sites are designed to deceive investors, steal sensitive credentials, and facilitate fraudulent transaction to drain funds. So as you can see, all you have to do just target kind of the exchanges, and this is like our Center for CIC website, and just duplicate it. It took good kind of 30 minutes, and my grad assistant kind of worked on. You got to do kind of a little bit of cosmetic work and coloring a little bit, but it's not extensive, right? And you are writing kind of HTML code and putting all stuff here. And so this is important. It's a credential, right? And so you got it from Evil Twin, right? And the warm GPT, all the code necessary. Then victims type in their login information, password information. Yeah, my super strong password. And let's take a look at the bad guy's computer side. And here you go. And so, yeah, you got it. And so my email and then password confiscated from the bad guys. So this mirror website tactic is becoming increasingly common in advanced kind of investment scam. So that means, like, of course, maybe people think that, yeah, they do have a great technical skill, maybe, but I mean, their work is made so easier with the AI technology. Pick-picturing scams are often run by a network of scammers, organized crime groups from mainland China, but operated by human trafficking victims held captive in Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, other Southeast Asian countries. Investment scam, particularly crypto-related, have seen a significant surge. So you can see here kind of latest IC3 report, and so you can see crypto scam is 3.96 billion. Out of, like, you can see investment scam in Taiwan, entirety of the investment scam 4.57 billion. So vigilance is crucial as a cyber criminal tactics evolve in our digital world. So let's move on to our study, my team's study on darknet drug markets. The rise of the darknet marketplaces has reshaped the global drug trade, providing powerful alternative to traditional street-based transactions. These platforms enable buyers and sellers to evade the legal and social kind of risk, making illicit trade more accessible and anonymous. And so you can see the Silk Road, right? And Silk Road not here. So that's such a kind of well-known. And so in 2011, darknet market have seen a surge in illicit drug trade, driven by the anonymity provided by technologies like Tor, the onion router, cryptocurrency, and encrypted messagings. One notable example is Hydra Market, the largest Russian darknet marketplace, which dominated the illicit trade before its shutdown. Since 2015, the Hydra processed over 5 billion in Bitcoin transactions, serving 17 million customers and 19,000 sellers, enabling illicit drug sales, financial fraud, and money laundering. So this is a great triumph from our DOJ. So in 2022, the DOJ led international operation that shut down Hydra Market, seizing its server in Germany and confiscating over 25 million in Bitcoin. FBI director called it testament to global law enforcement collaboration against the cyber criminals. In 2023, Operation Spectre targeted darknet opioid trafficking, resulting in 179 arrests, the seize of the 6.5 million in cash and crypto, 500 kilo of drugs, and 63 firearms. This marked the largest operation of its kind, reinforcing international efforts to combat illicit online drug trade. Despite these successes, significant gaps remain in understanding trafficking networks and their evasion tactics and broader public safety impact of the darknet drug markets. To address this, our Center for CIC research team analyzed the Bitcoin address linked to the darknet drug markets, focusing on seed addresses used for marketplace transaction. We examined the operational structure of these markets and their connection to organized crime, providing critical insights to enhance investigation and intervention aimed at disrupting these illicit networks. So money laundering is closely tied to drug marketing, drug trafficking, enabling transnational criminal groups to expand into human trafficking, fraud, and cybercrime. Increasingly, these groups have used kind of virtual currencies to conceal profit and fund activities like the other cybercrime. So it is kind of their economic ecosystem they built in darknet here. So unlike traditional studies based on kind of interviews and, of course, analyzing darknet content, our research team analyzed live cryptocurrency address linked to drug market in real time to uncover hidden financial network. So you can see that here, our search data and the January 1st to December 31st. And so we examine all possible kind of darknet domains and also follow the kind of Bitcoin address. And then, of course, the content type, we focused on the drug sales. So this is very interesting, the live forensic and also live data collection. Use various investigative kind of tools to scan kind of, open and the deep dark web and for illicit kind of activity. So this is one of the live forensic we did. So checking kind of flagged cryptocurrency addresses and provided kind of marketplace insights while kind of ensuring secure kind of darknet browsing. Then also the flags here, and this is kind of interesting. You can see a lot of activities going on, and you saw kind of the red one, and maybe I can play one more time. So it's all the kind of the red flags, the high risk, right? And so sometimes IWF, that's a lot of CSAM going on here. So that's connected with the child sexual abuse material, severe risk indicated. And also we see kind of from the Fusion Center, that's like fraudulent, scam, and that type. A lot of kind of the illegal activity. And also maybe you see the transaction, right? And see a lot of mixers and then self-funding, quite typical kind of money laundering techniques the bad guys using here. So here's our analysis, and we have an intensive analysis here and there, but I capture kind of important thing. So in the table 2, so we found in all 100 cases, and the CSAM, that's quite pretty big, 41% was the most prevalent crime, followed by kind of weapon and the sales, 22%, terrorism related, 16%, and a hitman service, and 14%, sex trafficking. Then also we have a core market, and there is a kind of very concentrated kind of, the cluster, and so core market, so 54%, 54.5%, and CSAM again. So it is kind of similar kind of patterns we we saw that. And then or 78 market others, but still I see it is kind of follow, kind of the pattern is kind of very steady here. Then also the flex analysis for output Bitcoin address linked to the kind of seed Bitcoin address reveal kind of ties to various organized crimes. And definitely the mixer coin join, that's money laundering activities. And again, the CSAM is prevalent. You see kind of ransomware, the sanction, that's OPEC sanction. That means like the US government already flagged that illegal activities. And then scam, fraud, and yeah, all others. So it's a you can see interesting finding. You can see that here. They are not just selling the drugs here, right? And so on the dark web, and so they're using kind of same crypto, and then they are expanding their businesses. And so as a cryptocurrency evolve, so do the challenges in combating illicit activities, also requiring adaptive strategy to address emerging threat. Yeah, law enforcement and researchers track the flow of illicit funds, identify kind of key players, and disrupt kind of large-scale criminal operation instead of just this, shutting down individual markets. It also highlights the sophistication and resilience of the kind of organized cybercrime. To strengthen investigative efforts, we must integrate blockchain analytics and AI-driven monitoring, advanced OSINT techniques, and partnership with the cryptocurrency exchanges. Collaboration among kind of law enforcement, academia, and industry is vital to stay ahead of evolving criminal tactics. Additionally, specialized training in blockchain forensics and OSINT will equip officers with kind of skills necessary for effective enforcement and prosecutions. So here's a kind of course, this is my theory, and that I proposed in 2008, and the cyber routine activity theory indicates that, importance of online lifestyle from individual level, right? And so individually, we need to know like how to protect ourselves, like, and making sure like you check your online behavior, where you are, what are you playing, and what things you do, right? And then also that cybersecurity, and that's very important. Do you have a kind of proper security in your computer and in your devices? And also even kind of check that privacy setting, and that's a expansion of the security, right? So your online lifestyle really matters to crime victimization, computer crime in this case, and but I expanded this theory to the personal crime, interpersonal crime too, and it kind of worked. And also security management, very, very crucial. And that substantially influence on the crime victimization. And this is quite interesting model. And so we recently working with the Boston police. And so think about that. Our seniors are in danger pretty much. And so it's a dramatic kind of the statistics can tell you that. So I think we are kind of targeting vulnerable population, both kind of elderly and kind of little children, how we can kind of educate them, right? And so we thought this is a wonderful idea. We create a kind of shield program. And so from this summer, and we will be very proactive kind of working together with the law enforcement. So literally kind of you playing game here, right? And the Roblox, maybe if you have kids, you already know Roblox, and that's a really popular, right? And among kids. So from the Roblox game, it's now virtual reality available. So we are creating kind of game learning. So how to detect kind of, the fraudulent scam and the email, and also kind of, fun stuff here. We create an NPC, and so NPC is kind of the avatar, right? And in the gaming, and so literally kind of you can interact with the kind of, the bad guys. And so we program our NPC like with the AI control. So that means, so you kind of really dealing with kind of, the potential criminals here. So then you provide kind of feedback. You see what's up, bad guys here, right? And so you're communicating with the kind of, potential kind of bad guy in cyberspace, and you communicate. So how you kind of interact, and how you kind of, detect that's a kind of scams, how you get away from it. So that type of kind of, the learning, inferential learning is so important, and we are implementing. So we're still kind of developing with the CIC researchers and volunteers, and and also computer science professors and all together. So this is kind of exciting kind of project. Then of course we offer kind of resources, and then we create a kind of team member here. And so one officer, one graduate assistant, and manager from the facility, and so seniors and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is kind of something kind of, the new things, and we are trying. And of course, it is very important, international collaboration. So for past 5 years, WIDEC conference is specifically designed to foster international collaboration, enabling kind of close networking among government agency, academics, and the private sector. Yeah, each year, the conference has successfully kind of brought together over 1,000 WIDEC professionals from more than 20 countries. So yeah, this time Spain. And so you can register. If you cannot really travel to Spain, yeah, you can just watch us, what we're doing, right? And what white people, I'm still white hat, right? And good guys doing it. And so we'll share a lot of kind of insights with the law enforcement, prosecutor's office, and also GLOBE kind of, the law enforcement, Interpol, Europol. And also the program we are operating, the OJJDP, and then BZA. So OJJDP was the crypto investigation and the IoT focused. And then also we have a kind of new opportunity. And so we are training law enforcement IoT forensics, and such a kind of the new area, right? And so it is available. If you're working in law enforcement agency, please reach out to my great assistant. So Erin Stephen, and so then you can ignore this training and you can get certified. Certified from DOJ, BJA, Boston University, Center for CIC, and our partners. So it is great training opportunity. So cyberspace doesn't sleep, but with collective efforts and awareness, and we can build a more secure digital future. As we move forward, yeah, let us remain vigilant, skeptical, and safe in the ever-evolving cyber landscape. Thank you. This concludes my presentation. I look forward to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Dr. Owen. Thank you, Dr. Choi, for the interesting and an informative speech. We have amazing speakers lined up after this session, but I feel like we are learning already so much from your speech. But this time is for Q&A. Any questions from the audience? So I want to address Dr. Choi's presentation first for the question. So you mentioned the connection with the darknet markets and the cryptocurrency, and then some crimes happening over there. So how are the law enforcement agencies coordinating and then collaborating at the international level, not just at their local level, to address these cross-border crimes that involves cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, and then other things intertwined together?
As briefly mentioned in Hydra market case and Operation Spectre, international coordination is crucial for addressing cross kind of border crime. Yeah, for example, Hydra server was located in Germany and successfully shut down through kind of rapid collaboration between agencies. We're talking about like well over like 20 nations, right, working together. So without kind of such a swift kind of international cooperation, operations like these would be impossible. Additionally, ICAC, so I kind of briefly mentioned of ICAC, the Internet Crime Against Children Task Force, comprising over 5,000 agencies, which is the largest collaborative law enforcement network in the US. Similar task force exists in other countries. I'm not sure if it's that much extensive. So given the kind of prevalence of the CSAM, within darknet and the drug markets, and it is essential to kind of leverage kind of ICAC networks and kind of coordinate with broader law enforcement efforts to effectively kind of investigate and dismantle these operations. So I think we really have to kind of think about that. So that means like we do have a sufficient number of agencies everywhere. The communication is the issue, right? And so that's why we have a kind of wider conference going on here. And so actively kind of communicate, even establish kind of program and a working, the law enforcement exchange program I think US, we actively doing that. And for example, like Boston University, summer, I think we started from last year. And so the cyber bureau from South Korea, and so the group of the actual practitioner joining our training, special training, and also they have a specific need, right? And so also we facilitated connecting, networking with our U.S. law enforcement agency, so local, state, and federal. So we literally kind of visiting, right? And the Boston police, and then even local police here, U.S. Secret Service, so that kind of constant communication, immediate network, that's the key. So of course, learning itself, like, technical skill set is important, but networking is crucial.
Thank you for your response. And then both in your response and both in your presentation, you mentioned the international collaboration. And I think both Dr. Choi and Dr. Oh has been leading international collaboration or facilitating international collaboration. So I wanted to ask about some successful examples that you didn't mention already, some key examples from such collaboration. And then if you started the collaboration, how did you facilitate and initiate those collaborations? Because given what we learned from both of you, I think the international collaboration will only continue to address these emerging new types of crimes happening in the cyberspace. So if you could share some advice if the researchers and practitioners are looking to initiate and facilitate and continue collaboration, do you have any advice for them?
Well, okay. My name is Tamo. I'm a KCA current president. And there are a number of things we are doing very actively right now. As you, Dr. Park mentioned, international collaboration is anticipation is pretty high. For example, I visited Korea for seeking funding for, we do annually U.S. Korea conference. We did it at San Francisco last year, over 1,100 people, 40% from Korea. And to do that, I do the fundraising. I do visit over 100 different universities, KAIST, Seoul National, Korea universities, and also the institute, 원장님, meet so many of them. And they do have a huge desire for international collaboration. That's how our organization operates. Yearly, we do events within KSC and domestically over 260 events per year. That's huge, and it's supporting all of that. So if they need any of the collaboration with the US, KSCA seems to be the only, we do have infrastructure and the capacity to provide a connection to researchers domestically, mostly professors, and also professional within the United States. For example, we do KIAT organization, and there, because of the International Collaboration Initiative, they started to implement centers within the United States. So they have selected, and select means we have announced it, and many universities have submitted proposal. Purdue University, and also their universities in like Georgia Tech, they have a center for exclusively collaboration with the U.S. and Korea. If a Korean institutes or Korean company wants to collaborate, they contact these institutes, and they provide connection to the regional area. So they're in the process of establishing center in the West Coast. That's a one event. They also a lot of international collaboration, research opportunity. For example, I've been working with the ETRI. I consider myself as a mobile device expert, and they help out the development of hardware for the Samsung Galaxy. In that area, I do help out with the software side. That is one example that collaboration, because we do have an infrastructure of the vast number of networking with the academia and also the companies within the United States and the Korea. I could go on, and because of time limitation, I'll just stop here.
Yeah, I want to add piggybacking and what you said, and so it's a great to work with KSEA, and so my experience is quite special. Then I got invited to KSEA 2 years ago and the UKC, and then start kind of networking with other scientists, and so we're talking about kind of medical and bio and all different fields, and then I happened to be invited to NIH, and then met kind of the researcher from Korea University. So we are currently working on collaborative project with Korea University Medical Center to secure kind of medical IoT devices in kind of what's called a smart patient facility. So as you may know, the IoT device, as mentioned, right, connected multiple apps, and which makes them kind of highly vulnerable. So in hospital setting, yeah, that's not just kind of data breach risk, right? It can directly impact kind of patient safety. So it's a very important matter. And so at BU kind of CIC lab, and we use kind of digital fingerprinting to secure these devices and store kind of critical information on blockchain for extra kind of protection. So we've also kind of developed AI system, monitors that monitors kind of the cyber threat in real time, and of course we are kind of working on it, and so which can kind of save hospital like 2 to kind of 7 million by reducing the need for full incident response kind of deployments. So of course it's a proposal we are working, but this type of collaboration, right, supported by Korean research funding and private partnership, and is a kind of great example of kind of how international teamwork can really kind of drive innovation. So yeah, I always kind of tell our researchers and start by tackling a shared problem, align kind of your goals early, and build the trust through kind of small and successful project. And then of course the network is so important, and without meeting, right, and the experts and researchers from the different field, I would never actually kind of working this type of research. So yeah, thanks to KSEA.
Yeah. To just give you a summarize, we provide channels for international collaboration with Korea and US. Within US, yes, certainly Korea as well. And we do offer a lot of mentorship. There are a lot of travel support and many mentorships to promote undergraduate, graduate students to be successful in their career. And we do so many programs. Just check it out, ksea.org. Thank you.
Thank you. We have amazing speakers lined up, so I'll hand it over to the co-moderator, Dr. Mijin Kim.
Thank you, Dr. Park. Good evening and warm welcome to those of you who are joining us from South Korea. As a co-moderator, I'll be leading the second session of today's webinar and facilitating the discussion with our speakers. Before we begin, a brief note for the audience. Please hold your questions until all presentations have concluded. A dedicated Q&A session will follow, during which we will address as many questions as time permits. With that, let us begin. Our first speaker tonight is Dr. Wook Kang, and he will deliver a presentation on drone warfare readiness, advancements in anti-drone technology and drone forensics. Dr. Wook Kang is a leading drone expert and professor at the Korean National Police University. He founded the Drone and Security Research Institute in 2016 to enhance public safety through drone technology and to combat the misuse of drones for crime and terrorism. Additionally, he is the president of the Korean Financial Crime Prevention Association, which focuses on preventing financial crimes through research and public initiatives. Dr. Kang has published over 60 peer-reviewed articles and 9 books, leading projects to address public safety and counterterrorism using innovative technologies. Dr. Kang, Please begin.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and good morning. My name is Wook Kang, and I'm a professor at Korea National Police University. And it is a privilege to present the topic of drone warfare readiness, advancement in anti-drone technology and drone forensics. This research was partially supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology Information and Communication. Okay. Before we beginning the presentation, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. I hold several positions, and then next. And also, I'd like to introduce my institute, which is established in 2016. And Drone and Security Research Institute is to protect the society. And then next. So the goal of the DASRI is to secure the public safety and by using drone and protect society from the dirty drones, which are misused for crimes and terror. Next. And also our institute consists of director and 3 full-time researchers, 5 professors, and the advisory committee, including famous scholars. Next. And also our institute has held 26 seminars, including the international scholarly seminars. Next. Okay, I'd like to highlight the Russo-Ukrainian War marks the first drone war in the 2003 in Iraq War. So only 160 drones were employed, constituting less than 1% of engagement. But in contrast, during the Russo-Ukrainian War, over 4,000 drones are utilized each month. Ukraine alone has more than 200 drone manufacturers and has invested $2 billion spent on drone production. The classification of self-destructive drones in terms of range include 300 kilometers, 500 kilometers, 7 and 1,000 kilometers. Next. So the intensity of drone warfare in Ukraine war is a very sad story, but anyway, has escalated significantly in April 2025. So Russia's large-scale UAV strikes target civilian infrastructure across multiple regions, while Ukraine counters with precision attacks on strategic facilities deep within Russian territory. And also there are several key drones in Ukraine army. So first is Sting, which is a first-person view, and also it flies more than 160 kilometers per hour. And also Chakra is overcome the red water and resist electronic warfare. And also Stock 5.0 is a very unique drone because actually it may be a drone, but it may be kind of a ship, so underwater drone. So it ranges 600 kilometers and speed for over 40 knots. Next. And also another key thing is the Peliantisya. So it is unveiled in Ukrainian Independence Day, which is on August 21st in 2024. It is similar to Russian missile, but it is very efficient because it costs less than $1 million, while the Russian missile more than $13 million. Next. As you can see, there are many drone weapons. So to counter these threats, so anti-drone strategies have developed, including shootdowns, maybe camouflage, enhanced blockade with tanks, jamming, sometimes use of smoke. Next. And also, the global drone market is projected to grow at CAGR of 12.7%, further underscoring its expensive role in modern conflict. Next. Okay, as you can see, so the drone market is growing. Next. And also, I'd like to mention some key features of drone attack. First of all, VTOL is mainly used. So VTOL means vertical takeoff and landing. And also, many drones also use fixed wing drones. So fixed wing designs remain prevalent for long-range kamikaze drones due to superior range and efficiency. Next. And also these days, multi-mission platforms, so it's capable of search, surveillance, and attack without reconfiguration. And also there are some integrated system, and also there are some operations. So I'm sorry about this, some screen, but anyway, swarm drone is very important. So one pilot can operate more than 100 drones. Next. And also important thing is engine development, because many drones were used by some fuel engines. And also first-person view and racing technology was used. It is AI assisted, so it enables precision targeting while maintaining high speed, particularly effective against slow-moving stride drones. Next. So regarding some global security, so United Nations Global Counterterrorism held the meeting in 2023. So the conference highlighted challenges associated with UAV, emphasizing the need for global control, which is particularly of engines. So it is very important to control the engine to protect society from some drone wars. Next. And also there are some advancement equipment, as you can see, radar, RF scanner, some jammer, but it is also integrated by some system. Next. So we also used AI-based big data, so it is very important to integrate all methods. Next. And also it is the anti-drone system in Korea, and also we are developing this system, and also our institute also participate in this project. And then the project name is Intelligent Anti-Drone Technology. And also it focuses on enhancing security at nuclear facilities and airports against illegal drones. As you can see, we can see the drone cap, and also drone cap protect from some critical infrastructures. So, and also the initiative also include real-time forensic capabilities for immediate data insight, representing a significant advancement in safeguarding national security against drone infiltration. Next. So it is very brief system of our project, and there's a detect, identification, analyzation, neutralization, and forensic. So forensic is the key part of this project. Next. And also I'd like to suggest two strategies for the anti-drone strategies. One is military approach, which is detect, track, and defeat. And another is civilian approach, which is detect, observe, manage. These days, civilian approach is more important than military approach. So it focused on surveillance and management, emphasizing safety through a comprehensive drone management plan rather than some destruction, allowing for more measured response to unauthorized drone. Next. And also, I'd like to talk about drone forensic systems. So the drone forensic system can be divided into two parts, which is live forensic and non-live forensics. The live forensics involve gathering and examining data from a drone while in flight or actively communicating. But non-live forensics involve analyzing data stored within a drone, focusing on general digital analyze method. Next. So there are several techniques for the drone forensic. First of all, tracking. So the tracking is involved analyzing flight characteristics and frequency data to locate the pilot. However, if the GPS signal was turned off, and then it's very difficult to track the drone. Next. And also, second method is data analysis. The drone flight logs can be extracted through the flight controller to get essential data such as GPS, flight distance, and altitude. Additionally, for drones with separate storage device like SD card, relevant information can be retrieved from the recorded data. Next. And also another method is evidence analysis. So forensic evidence from drones can include fingerprint, microscopic evidence, DNA, and chemical traces. To ensure this evidence is admissible in court, a digital forensic examiner must follow stringent legal guidelines and industry standard. Next. And also it is the kind of drone forensic flow chart. So if the drone is flying, and then we can use live forensic, but if the drone is not flying, and if the drone is captured, and then we can use non-live forensic. Next. And also there are some need for drone forensic. So also there are some challenges, threat, risk, and also some forensic rules. Next. So there are dual approaches. So dual approach of forensic include field forensics for collecting physical evidence like fingerprint and DNA, and digital forensic for retrieving electronic data from drones. And this method ensure the truth investigation for law enforcement and highlight the need for advanced tools to manage encrypted. Next. Okay, it is my presentation, and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful overview of drone threats and countermeasures. We'll save some questions for a Q&A session later. Moving stateside, we'll welcome Dr. Myung-Hoon Roh of Salve Regina University to discuss current AI applications in the U.S. criminal justice system. Dr. Myung-Hoon Roh is an assistant professor in the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at Salve Regina University, where he also serves as a Macaulay Scholar within the Macaulay Institute for Mercy Education. His research focuses on juvenile delinquency, comparative criminology, and criminological theory, with publications in journals such as Violence and Victims, BMC Public Health, and the International Journal of Emergency Mental Health and Human Resilience. Educated internationally, Dr. Roh holds a BA in English from Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. He holds Masters of Public Administration from Brown University and a PhD in Criminology and Justice Policy from Northeastern University. His dissertation, A Cross-National Study of Youth Offending Toward an Integration of Individual and Macro Theory of Crime, reflects his interdisciplinary approach to understanding crime through both individual and societal lenses. Dr. Roh, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim, for your introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Myung-Hoon Roh, and I am teaching and researching at Salve Regina as an assistant professor of the Criminology Criminal Justice program. Today, by having 15 minutes, I really want to cover just a little bit about how current AI applications can be utilized and employed in the criminal justice system. So before I'm going to go and jump in a little bit more detail, I got to tell you that I am not an AI technician. I'm not an expert on AI. I'm not a legal scholar. I'm just criminologist. But as a learning curve, I maybe like in the past 2 years, I really wanted to investigate what is the contemporary AI algorithms and applications can be applied and generalizable in the criminal justice system. So I just touched upon, I covered a little bit about how the AI techniques can be utilized in crime detection, investigation, and the crime, how can I say, court system and the correction system. So I'm not gonna go more deeper, but again, generally, I really want to cover how AI can be utilized in the criminal justice system and how we can be cautious, particularly legal challenges, so how we can keep balance between the AI side and the legal side. So these are next slide, please. These are agenda I prepared, I just gave you a brief introduction about me, and then secondly, I want to cover how the AI can be applied in the CJ system, particularly crime detection, investigation, and the crime prevention, prediction and prevention, and particularly how AI can be utilized in a court system and correction. And at the same time, finally, I really want us to consider how or what kind of constitutional challenge we should face. Why? Because as I said before, if you are as a criminologist, we love AI. Why? Because it really helps us our job. For arresting criminals, it also saves our time and our energy and money for court system and corrections. It really we love that. However, at the same time, we need to try to think of what kind of challenges we should prepare and what kind of challenges we should predict. Why? Because always everything is pros and cons, and if you take one side, another side can be definitely has a lot of harms and problems. So again, at the same time, AI algorithm and applications in the CJ system. At the same time, the legal issues, what kind of a regulation has to be prepared on whenever we are trying to utilize the AI, the algorithm and the AI application in the CJ system. And then after that, finally, I really want to share what kind of considerations has to be digested among us, either as a criminologist or AI technician, AI expert, and at the same time a legal scholar. How or what kind of considerations has to be digested in order for us to have safely, securely utilize AI applications in the criminal justice system. Next slide, please. So again, briefly, as I said before, I'm not an expert on AI and AI technique, but I'm a learning curve right now. And as you have let you know, AI, what is AI? And the definition of AI is not a single piece of hardware. It's not a single piece of the software, and even it's not a single program, but it's a combinations or a constellation of all the technologies that give the computer system or the algorithmic system and make them have ability to solve the problems or even make them perform a very complicated task that originally required a human the intelligence. So again, the artificial intelligence, this is one of my favorite definitions. Why? Because AI simply the constellation combination of all the technologies make computer system do their job. Normally, it was supposed to be solved by humans. So make them have a human intelligence. So that is my basic understanding, how we can see and understand about the definition of AI. Next slide, please. So particularly crime detection and the crime investigation, which is a core element for policing. So as you know, many members or many the individuals in this room, maybe like they are conducting research in the field of criminology, criminal justice. So crime detection and crime investigation is really, really important element for us. So again, as you can see, there's a lot of different the computer science approaches to creating AI. You heard a lot about deep learning, machine learning. So a lot of different the AI, the techniques can be utilized, can be rooted to apply, particularly in our field in order to detect the criminals and in order to investigate the crime incidents. So based on the technique and based on the basic functionalities applied and enabled by AI, and practically, for example, facial recognition, fingerprint matching, crime hotspot mapping, and the voice-enabled assistant. So again, the variety of different type of functionalities can be easily. Right now, it has been already applied for the crime detection and crime investigation in the field of criminal justice, particularly policing. Next slide, please. And from now on, by having 5 or 6 different slides, I'm going to give you the examples how the AI functionalities can be utilized practically in the field of criminology, criminal justice. So in terms of object classification, the photo DNA video solutions can be easily, right now, practically applied by IBM. So how the child pornographies and the missing child. So again, by relying on the human eyes, we cannot even capture clearly. But relying only on the facial recognition techniques, the computer can divide by so many number of the squares on the photo, and then after that, by using the machine learning technique, they matched missing child or some ugly photos or other child pornography videos on the internet. And after that, utilizing AI and the face recognition technique, the computer can definitely generate it in order to match what child has been missed, or what kind of child the ugly videos or photo has been uploaded. And then after that, IBM or other techniques based on the photo DNA match the photo, and after that try to delete in order to prevent the victimization, particularly the little child. Next slide, please. In terms of objective recognition, so not relying on the specific individual identification, but relying only on the object. So based on the visual image in the border patrol, in the borders between Mexico and the United States, or government building, relying on the CCTV, or immigration, the process, or crime investigation, or big stadium like England Premier League or soccer games, no matter what, not relying on the basic individual biometrics and information, but relying only on the image. And then after that, they try, particularly the policing system, try to navigate or try to, how can I say, recognize the possibility that future crime incidents is gonna be predicted and prevented totally based on the image. So you can see that the screening, the surveillance, the database, investigative, and audience. So relying only on the image, and then after that, the AI applications can try to figure it out based on the motions and the image. How we can predict or recognize the possibility, the high possibility the crime incidence is going to happen, and how we can prevent it. Next slide, please. And in terms of gunshot detection, so again, the shot spotter. This is a currently operating company in the United States, and as you can see, this image, a lot of different the detection tools. Acoustic sensor has been already implemented in the top floor of each different building, and if the gunshot, the sound has been the gun has been fired by the criminals. And right after that, the sensor has been operating in order to digest where the gunshot has been happened and who shot the guns. And then after that, by sending the signals to the office, the shot spotter. And then after that, of course, human beings, the officer will definitely working in the office in order to analyze and investigate where and who the shot the guns. And then after that, automatically, the officer in the office, try to respond to the local law enforcement personnel in order to send the police to the specific site where the gunshot has been fired. Next slide, please. In terms of a DNA analysis, of course, forensic science is really time-consuming process. But however, if you can rely on the AI techniques, a lot of how can I say, the unsolved crime scenes or unsolved crime incidents can be perfectly completed. Why? Because let's say 20 years ago, one homicide has happened. However, the blood has been stored in a lab, but because of the development of technology, the blood, the cells, and the makeups can be matched. And after that, maybe 25 years later and 30 years later, the exact homicide offender can be caught. So again, DNA analysis, that is also an area where AI applications can be applied in the field of criminal justice. Next slide, please. In terms of digital forensics, I love this app. I love this program. Why? Because this is just the way how we can catch the run, hit and run, or in order to investigate car accidents. So analyzing a lot of different apps. As you can see, in our apps, we have a variety of different, so many number of apps that we're using, particularly checking emails and the Uber apps and the text messages. So again, if let's say a car accident hasn't happened or the hit and run incident hasn't happened, by analyzing the offender's apps simultaneously, or and in order to keep tracking the routes where he has been ran away by every single sequence, every single seconds, and then after that, that is the way that is the AI applications can be easily applied for arresting the criminals in the field of criminal justice. Next slide, please. So this is just the traditional examples. I guarantee that you've heard a lot about the Tradpol system. So AI applications can be easily and is popularly used in the past several years, particularly crime detection and crime prevention and crime prediction and crime prevention. So in the past, let's say 75 years old data. So we have been stacked of so many different type of data, when, where, how, and who commit crime and deviant behavior. So by relying on a bunch of different data, by analyzing when, how, who, where the future crime can be happened based on the past data. So this is Tradpol and other examples can be practically applied, particularly in the city of Santa Cruz and the west coast of the United States, by the indicating and the presenting where is the most likelihood, where is the place where the high possibility that the next crime incident can be happening. So because of this crime prediction and crime prevention technique, in particularly Tradpol, we can allocate our resource effectively. We can send in our resource in a certain area compared to the wealthy area or good area, the place where next crime is not going to be happening. So crime detection, crime prediction, and crime prevention also, that is the area where the AI applications can be perfectly utilized for policing the policing activity. Next slide, please. Let's discuss about the core system. So as you can see, we covered a variety of different elements, how we can utilize the AI applications for policing, particularly crime detection, investigation, crime prediction, and crime prevention. And then after that, how we can use AI technique for court system. So as you can imagine, prosecutor's job and the judge's job is really time-consuming process. So again, particularly court administration, they got to read a bunch of different reports and documentation in order to digest, in order to understand any single individual criminal cases. But again, if you are relying on the AI technology, they're gonna produce. They're gonna get the most appropriate results. How or what is the how can I say, what is the most appropriate the pre-trial sentencing, right? Whether or not if you can make them awaiting for next trial at home, or make them put them in a small tiny lockups in the local jails. So again, if you are relying only on the human's decision, human's discretion, it always takes time and money and energy. However, a lot of different administration, particularly for courts, right? Documentation, reading, digesting, follow-ups. So let's next slide, please. That is going to be so helpful for your understanding. So again, e-court date. So I really want to emphasize why and how AI applications can be effectively utilized in the court system, such as like this e-court date. How we can follow up every single, how can I say, the criminal defendants. Next week, next Wednesday at 10 a.m. you gotta show up to court for your next trial. So how we can, if you're relying on, if we can hire somebody, the court clerk or the individual prosecutors, make them send a message to you, the huge number of the crime defendants is really time consuming, and time the energy is really wasting time. So again, this e-court date, depending on the individual's case, automatically based on the criminal records, based on the documentations, this system can be automatically send a message. Your next court show up next court hearing has been scheduled for next day or next week or next month. So this is a practically the system, AI, the algorithmic system, which has been currently operating in the field of criminology, criminal justice, particularly court system in the United States. Next slide, please. AI in sentencing. So how we can utilize the AI application for prison and jails? I guarantee that you've heard a lot about the public safety assessment. So again, what is the best options? What is the best options? How we can digest or how we can allocate or distribute our criminals at either this facility or that facility. So again, traditionally, this is the traditional way of assessment tool, the public safety assessment, by asking, try to measure a variety of different the risk factors about every single individual, the criminals. But again, in order to neglect the individual's socio-demographic the characteristics, but relying on the severity of the offense, relying on the individual characteristic by relying on the data of this assessment, relying on the AI technique, the court judge will definitely produce what is the most appropriate, the sentencing, and at the same time, where is the most appropriate facility, how we can put them in the isolated place. Next slide, please. So again, as I related to that, the making a decision and the performance task in jail and prison, and even the probation and parole. So no matter what, in the broadly in correction system, by relying only on the AI applications, we can be we can be easily understanding what is the best correctional options, how we can rehabilitate, how we can treat the criminals in our facility, in a jail, prison, and community supervision. So let's say, as I said before, instead of relying only on the humans' decision, however, by relying on the numeric quantitative AI applications, we can have a little bit more better the options in order to treat the criminals in our prison system. Next slide, please. And this is a practical examples. In the city of Chicago right now currently operating for AI in the correction system. So again, from the beginning, when the individuals enter the correction system, the risk and needs assessment can be utilized by a machine learning in order to figure it out and in order to identify what is the risk and needs, particularly these individual criminals. And after that, housing optimization, figured it out where is the best, the place where he can stay safely with the other roommates in the jail and prison. And the safety related to the safety for the prison inmates among each other, and the correctional officer and the prison inmates. And the pre-release, how we can try to figure it out what is the most urgent needs right before he's gonna come and re-enter to our community. And even after that, after he entered our community, what is the most appropriate, what is the most urgent needs in order to make them have a safe life as a normal ID citizen like us. Next slide, please. And finally, so in the past almost like, let's say 15 minutes, we covered a variety of different area and elements, how AI applications can be utilized in the field of criminal justice, particularly in terms of crime detection, investigation, prediction, prevention, the court sentence and court system, and the correction system. So, like all of you guys, I know many number of the audiences listening the presentation on this room. I know that, but most of them are related to criminality and criminal justice. So again, based on this information that I gave you, even me, I have a strong impression. Oh, this is really awesome. Why? Because it definitely helped our job. It can definitely make us save our time, save our energy, save our money, which is really awesome. However, we gotta try to think that the opposite side of the coins. Why? Because a lot of different aspects. If you are seeing the praise of the AI algorithm and AI applications in the field of criminal justice, we will definitely lose and lost the risk of the backside of the coins, particularly the U.S. Supreme Court, the passed a variety of different constitution, the amendment, the constitutional rights, in order to maximize individual human rights. So based on my simple research, four different the constitutional law, constitutional rights can be perfectly, how can I say, the consideration will definitely try to face sooner or later if the AI applications can be perfectly utilized in the criminology criminal justice. So Fourth Amendment, the 14th and 5th and 14th, and the Sixth Amendment has to be considered. Next slide, please. So search and seizures. So again, Fourth Amendment in the United States, it says, we have a right, right? So the right of the people to be secure. So either an individual house or the papers and our belongings, we have to protect it against unreasonable searches and unreasonable seizures. However, our search, our information can be perfectly utilized by insurance company. Even my car insurance information, my health insurance information has been perfectly shared by any insurance company right now. So again, my legal rights of my of my individual rights for persons and house and papers, it cannot be protected. So again, the Fourth Amendment cannot be perfectly utilized, cannot be protected by the AI applications. Next slide, please. Procedural due process. So again, how can I say? The Fourth Amendment, it's been perfectly maximized. All the specific process in the criminal justice system has to be processed in a very optimal and appropriate and the due process. However, AI algorithm is really complicated. How we can know that? We don't know how and why my sentencing has been finally sentenced to 10 years in the prison. I don't know that. Why this number 10 has been produced by algorithm? Who knows? Nothing. Nobody knows that. So that's why Fourth Amendment cannot be perfectly protected by the AI algorithm and AI applications in the field of criminology criminal justice. Next slide, please. 14th Amendment, the equal protection. As I said before, in terms of a crime prediction and the crime prevention, such as a protocol, in the past 75 years of data for criminals. So again, we know that statistically, certain race and ethnicity has a higher possibility than high possibility to commit crime and deviant behavior compared to the other race, compared to the other gender, compared to the other ethnic groups. So equal protection cannot be perfectly protected. It cannot be perfectly maximized. Why? Because based on the past data, it's been already biased and racially biased. So equal protection is not going to be perfectly accepted and protected. Next slide, please. Sixth Amendment, confrontation clause. So again, as I said before in the field of criminology criminal justice, policing, court, and corrections, if you are relying on the AI algorithms, we don't know exactly why we have this final decision based on the AI, the applications. However, based on the Sixth Amendment, the confrontation clause, we have a legal rights. We can stand in front of our opposite part. We need to stand in front of our witness who has opposite argument and opposite the evidence against my own behalf. So again, we need to do a cross-examination. However, if we are relying only on the AI algorithm and AI applications, the court and corrections and even policing system, how we can cross-examine against the algorithm and computer? We cannot do that. So again, as I said before, in the past, the 4 different amendments, which has been perfectly protected by a U.S. Supreme Court, cannot be, how can I say, easily utilized, cannot be perfectly protected. Why? Because, as I said before, the Constitution, U.S. Supreme Court decision has been passed in order to maximize individual legal rights like this. However, practically, it's not going to be protected. Next slide, please. And again, I considered, what is the best way, how we can utilize an AI algorithm application in the field of criminology criminal justice system. So again, 3 different parts has to be emerged among each other. Technically, it has to be feasible. Operationally, it has to be achievable. And finally, we need to try to think ethically, it has to be appropriate. So again, next slide, please. I'm going to wrap up. Final thoughts is this. As I said before, for policing, in order to detect and investigate or even arrest the criminals, I'm pretty sure sooner or later we're going to be perfectly relying on the AI algorithm, AI applications. Why? Because it'll definitely help us to arrest the criminals. Court system, prosecutor and judge save a lot of time, instead of digesting and reading so many different type of criminal cases and documentation, which is really awesome. Court system, of course, that's going to be so helpful for us to help our job, how we can utilize where is the best place, how we can put them, the criminals in a certain facility. However, we need to try to think. I really want you to consider how we can keep balance between two different sides. Either sing the praise of the AI algorithm. Why? Because it will definitely solve and resolve our issue in time. And at the same time, we need to try to think how we can effectively protect individuals, including criminals. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe. Thank you for your thought-provoking presentation on the use of AI in the justice system. I believe you really raised important questions about how we can balance technological innovation with the protection of fundamental rights. Next, we'll hear from Superintendent Kwang-min Park from the Korean National Security Investigation Bureau. His presentation will be on trends in cyber threats in North Korea. Please begin when you're ready, Superintendent Park.
Good to meet you. I'm Kwang-min Park, and today I'll be presenting on current trends in North Korea's cyber threat. Due to internal policy, I kindly ask for your understanding that my personal details are not disclosed during or after this presentation. I have worked for approximately 7 years at the Korean National Police Agency, KNPA, where I was in charge of supporting digital forensic investigations in response to North Korea's cyber activities. For the past 3 years, I have been engaged in investigative work targeting domestic individuals affiliated with North Korea and cyber attacks carried out by its hacker groups. Next, please. Let's briefly look into the hacking groups operated by North Korea. Although North Korea operates multiple hacking groups, it does not officially acknowledge or reveal their existence. There are three main groups that are commonly referenced. First, Kim Soo-ki appeared in a 2013 report published by Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab titled Kim Soo-kyang, which was named after a North Korean hacker's email account. Second, Lazarus was named in the 2016 report Operation Blockbuster by global cybersecurity company Novetta, which investigated the Sony Pictures hacking incident. Lastly, Andaria was identified in the 2017 Cyber Threat Intelligence Report published by the Financial Security Institute of Korea. Kim Soo-ki primarily attacks government and diplomatic institutions using phishing and social engineering tactics. In recent years, these attacks have expanded beyond South Korea to include countries such as Japan and the US. Since 2022, Kim Soo-ki targeted a South Korean word game company with phishing to compromise an administrative account. In February 2023, they used the account to send a malicious email during Korea's tax season to staff members in the US versus Korea. Fortunately, the US military network blocked the file. Also, in 2014, cyber threat against KHNP, Korea Hydro and Nuclear Power, involved a similar measure in which the attacker threatened to leak internal documents and nuclear power plant blueprints. Lazarus is one of the most prominent North Korean hacking groups. It consists of several subgroups and carries out attacks against a wide range of countries and industries. In South Korea, it has infiltrated corporate systems by exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities in domestically developed software. Internationally, Lazarus created fake identities and lured targets via platforms such as LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and Telegram. The 2014 Sony Pictures hacking incident made Lazarus widely known. Lazarus leaked not only internal data but also unreleased films in retaliation for the movie The Interview, which depicted an assassination attempt on Kim Jong-un. Second, in February 2016, Lazarus stole $81 million from the Bangladesh Central Bank's account at the New York Federal Reserve via Philippine banks. The hack begins in January 2015 with a phishing email. Over a year, they monitored the system and executed the transfer, laundering the money through Macau casinos. Lazarus was also behind the 2017 WannaCry ransomware attack. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a wanted notice for hacker Park Jin-hyuk, and the Department of the Treasury placed him on the sanction list. The Andariel Group primarily targets defense contractors, cybersecurity firms, research institutes, and semiconductor companies. It is particularly known for using ransomware attacks to generate financial gain. In 2024, the FBI indicted Lim Jong-hyuk, a hacker affiliated with the Andariel Group. Also in July 2024, agencies such as CISA, NSA, NIS, KMPA, and the UK's NTSC issued a cybersecurity advisory stating that Andariel has been conducting global cyber espionage operations to advance North Korea's military and nuclear weapons programs. One of the major attacks occurred in 2023, involving the theft of data from South Korean defense companies. It was confirmed that the files had been downloaded in Pyongyang. They also carried out ransomware attacks on companies in South Korea and hospitals in the US, stealing significant amounts of cryptocurrency. Financial tracking reveals that the funds were laundered through a money exchange company in Hong Kong and withdrawn in Dandong, a Chinese city located on the border with North Korea. North Korean hacking groups commonly use spear phishing attacks, targeting specific individuals or organizations through well-researched, customized emails. Unlike generic phish, these emails mimic trusted sources such as government officials. If people affiliated with North Korea-related organizations receive such emails, they are likely to open the attachment without suspicion. As a result, it is difficult for victims to recognize whether they have been compromised. These attacks occur frequently and are reported to the police. In the past, attackers often sent links containing malicious files directly. Now that their previously common measures are widely recognized, they are shifted to more subtle and deceptive techniques. At first, they begin by exchanging normal emails to build trust and then send malicious files disguised as normal attachments. In some cases, they even reply to follow-ups to avoid raising suspicion. Ransomware attack is a measure in which attackers encrypt data and demand a ransom in exchange for decryption. North Korean hackers previously targeted finance and healthcare, but recently expanded to defense and IT sectors. According to blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis, it was announced that ransomware damages amounted to $813.55 million worldwide as of 2024. Let me give you a real investigative case. An attacker exploited a vulnerability to install ransomware, encrypt data, and leave a ransom note. The note included contact information, the ransom amount, and a cryptocurrency wallet address. If the victim contacts the attacker, they demand money for the decryption key. In this case, approximately 4.3 Bitcoin was transferred. The ransom attackers were sent to personal crypto wallets, then laundered using mixers or Monero, the dark coin, and converted to cash via overseas exchanges. Next is a software supply chain attack. Instead of attacking well-protected companies or agencies, attackers infiltrate trusted vendors or software providers to reach their targets indirectly. In November 2023, NIS and the UK's NCSC warned of North Korean supply chain attacks. The KMPA uncovered a case where raiders exploited vulnerabilities in a security program used for Korean internet banking. Real case in 2024, an attacker compromised a service provider offering document, network, and data protection solutions, implanting malware in client networks and stealing data. North Korea hacks crypto exchanges and wallets to bypass sanctions. In 2019, they stole 342,000 Ethereum from the Korean exchange Upbit. Even more alarming are the two reports presented below. By 2024, total crypto theft reached $1.3 billion. In February 2025, Ledger stole $1.5 billion from the overseas exchange Bybit, targeting transfers from cold wallet to hot wallets, raising concern about the security of cold wallets. This case occurred in 2024. Phishing emails target crypto users, stealing wallet credentials, and passwords. The stolen assets were transferred to hacker accounts, converted to Tether or other cryptocurrencies, and laundered through overseas exchanges. Among many cyber attackers targeting South Korea in 2024, I will highlight two cases. First, raiders had infiltrated the Supreme Court network and stealing 1 terabyte of data. The breach lasted from January 2021 to February 2023. About 5,000 sensitive files were confirmed leaked, but most data couldn't be verified due to delay. The attack exploited software vulnerabilities and reflects North Korea's long-term stealth hacking strategy. Next, please. The second case is a notable example in which multiple North Korean hacking groups joined forces for a coordinated attack. The KMPA confirmed that Rogers, Andariel, and Kim Soo-ki jointly carried out an attack on a South Korean defense company. They either directly target the defense firm to steal data or attack a maintenance service provider of a cooperating company to leak sensitive information from partner firms. Let me highlight some key response strategies and cybersecurity measures following the cases we've discussed. The systems we use are becoming increasingly sophisticated and deceptive. Accordingly, agencies like CISA and many cybersecurity companies provide essential security guidelines as shown in the slide. These guidelines are critical for preventing damage and must be followed without exception or hesitation. However, if targeted by state-sponsored North Korean hacking groups, it is extremely difficult to avoid damage completely. We must not forget that those Korean hackers are highly persistent and spend extensive time and effort preparing their attacks. They are constantly testing new measures to find a way in. It is worth noting that each group specialized in its domain, refining advanced techniques over several years. From the perspective of companies, organizations, and individuals, I have curated just a few of the most important security guidelines. Through actual investigations, I've seen many such cases. Even though companies have invested heavily in security systems and equipment, a single mistake or moment of carelessness by a single user rendered everything useless. According to Proofpoint, a cybersecurity firm, 74% of CISOs surveyed in 2024 identified human error as the biggest cybersecurity vulnerabilities. I believe that no matter how advanced our systems are, they mean nothing without consistent human awareness. Stay alert, follow the basics, and never let your guard down. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Superintendent Park. Thank you for your insightful presentation on emerging cyber threats. It definitely serves as a powerful reminder of how constantly evolving these threats are and highlights the critical need for ongoing vigilance and innovation in cybersecurity. Our final technical talk features Dr. Kang Pyo-so. Dr. Kang Pyo-so is the co-founder and CTO of Atome Incorporated and an accomplished materials scientist specializing in nanocomposites for extreme environments such as nuclear reactors. He earned his PhD from Seongkyungwan University and worked as a research scientist at MIT, focusing on a scalable nano-engineered metallic composites. Dr. So has authored over 30 peer-reviewed papers, holds 20 inventions, and has accumulated more than 5,000 citations. At Atome, he leads the development of next-generation nano-reinforced metals, including lightweight ballistic armor. His work supports advanced applications such as bulletproof casings for police patrol robots, aiming to enhance both protection and mobility. His presentation today will be on smart defense, AI designed, additively manufactured ballistic armor for customized for protection. Dr. So, the floor is yours.
Great. Thanks for your introduction. And thank you, everyone, for joining this event. My talk is related to the enhancement of security and prevention of crime through hardware solution, specifically providing AI-designed ballistic armor for customized protection, especially targeting the next generation of surveillance patrol robot. I'm Dr. Kang Pyo-so, currently co-founder and CTO of Atome Material. Thank you for providing our company, Atome, for this great opportunity. Here are some very serious, shocking statistics in terms of mass shooting incident in the US for about last 10 years. As you can see, over the time, the occurrence of a shooting incident has dramatically increased. The death toll is nearly 20,000, and injuries are more than 32,000, 36,000 in 2023. The threat to citizens is ongoing, and now become a serious concern. Another disturbing fact is that the highest cause of death of young people, like child, is from gun violence, not from cancer nor from car accident. Patrol robot could offer a powerful solution to address this challenge. However, when it comes to dangerous situations, such as exploring area where potential ballistic violence may occur, armor is essential to keep robot operational and functional. Last year in 2024, state police robot dog was shot during standoff. In this scenario, the robot lost functionality and was disabled. It can be a big problem, especially in critical operation, and can cause a major financial loss. Hearing news like this, we realize the critical role that Atome advanced material and manufacturing technology play in improving civilian safety and security. AI design plus advanced manufacturing like 3D printing means we can turn ideas into objects faster than ever before. Imagine this. A smart AI design protective armor and 3D printing make it real. The result, a robot with custom fit armor that's strong, light, and scalable for robot dog, drones, or even for human with fashionable design. But the main challenging here is that current material for 3D printing have major limitations. We need material that perform more effectively. The good news is that Atome has developed super powerful and effective material. Atome is short for atomic metallurgy. We blend material science, engineering, chemistry, and physics to innovate at atomic level. Our company, our team, comes from different background, but with the rise of AI, the boundary between fields quickly fading. What brings us together is shared mission to build a safer society. We now have a capacity through collaboration and innovation across discipline. At Atome, our expertise gives us a unique ability to develop advanced tools and super powerful and effective material that can support, protect, and empower professionals in the field of criminology, citizen, and innocent children. Now, I'd like to show how our team can contribute to this shared mission. First, at Atome, we have initiated an evaluation of material for ballistic protective armor currently available in the market and identified what are the important factors to meet the design criteria. The most common options are polymer-based Kevlar, metal plate, and ceramic plate. However, given the condition that patrol robots operate continuously in diverse environments throughout the year, including sunlight, rain, cold, heat, both day and night, even on the road with excessive salt. This might be familiar with those of you who lives in cold climate like Boston. The requirements are very stringent and materials have to be selected specifically withstand such a condition 24/7. The Kevlar was reported to degrade under environmental exposure such as sunlight and moisture, a process visually indicated by change in color and microstructure breakdown of integrity, as shown in the photo. Thus, unfortunately, polymer-based material like Kevlar is not ideal for ballistic armor on a patrol robot. And also, multi-layer ceramic material with polymer layer in between are not ideal as well. On the other hand, traditional hard metal plate pose another risk. When bullets strike these plates, they can be shattered. This generates dangerous shrapnel that leads to collateral damage and serious threats to the life of citizens, police, and military officers. In addition, when bullets hit the plate at an angle, they change their trajectory to unpredictable place. Just last year, there was a ricochet incident in the US. A sheriff was shot due to the ricochet at gun range. Unfortunately, this is not uncommon and could be problematic, particularly in public area where vulnerable citizens are present. Thus, shatter ricochet should be a factor to be considered in the design of ballistic armor. Last point I would like to make is that operational effectiveness in a patrol robot is heavily depending on their weight. As this graph shows, lighter curb weight in the vehicles allowed for higher mileage per gallon, resulting in greater travel distance. Thus, heavier weight severely limit the area that patrol robot can traverse. Based on this fact, conventional ballistic material fails to provide full protection. They may either be lightweight but susceptible to the environmental damage, or durable but excessively heavy or prone to causing collateral damage. Thus, protective ballistic material in this particular patrol robot must be weather-resistant, shatter ricochet-proof, lightweight, and also thin. In the light of this limitation, Atome is excited to introduce our groundbreaking solution to this community. We have developed a revolutionary technique that creates super powerful and effective material by reinforcing metal with nanoceramics, similar to how rebar strengthens concrete. This enhancement significantly improves the properties of metal, making them 15% strong, 20% harder with no degradation. Most importantly, 30% lighter. Our patent pending and licensed technology from MIT has proven effective and have been particularly suited for application requiring high durability like 3D printing. To better understand the real impact of a ballistic event, I went to a shooting range and fired a handgun for the first time in my life. It was frightening but exciting experience. My hand was literally trembling, but I knew I had to take this step. We followed the National Institute of Justice standard testing procedure. In the regular steel plate, on the left side, you can see the trace of bullet shatter, whereas in Atome design plate, the right side, bullet got embedded in our plate, providing capability to resist ricochet and shatter. In other words, Atome designed plate prevent bullet from shattering, inherently increasing protection and safety, eliminating collateral damage. We aim to push the boundary by reducing thickness and weight. We use simulation to find minimum thickness and weight corresponding to the structure. Our simulation results indicate that 3 mm is achievable thickness. That is serviceable for patrol robot because it can tolerate weight about 30 kilograms. To better visualize the impact, we estimated number of people that could be protected within this area. currently, the system can protect about 2 to 3 people, which is strong starting point. But Atome's immediate goal is to expand the coverage to 4, even 5 people. But with continued optimization and innovation and improvement, it is possible to protect even larger number of people. Atome addresses most of these major shortcomings of current existing material by creating unique solutions by combining the benefit of metal and ceramic. We have created super material that can offer the necessary level of protection while minimizing thickness and weight. By creating this material with a process like 3D printing, we are able to design ballistic armor more intelligently to prevent bullet shatter ricochet while keeping a lightweight. We have material that enable surveillance patrol robot to be more functional and operational in dangerous incidents, such as active shooter situation. Furthermore, we are not only protecting patrol robot, but more importantly, we protect the people surrounding. Few months ago, I learned about Center for Cybercrime Investigation and Cybersecurity at Boston University, who is actively working on developing and deploying surveillance patrol robot targeting to university and K-12 school. This concept robot are planning to adapt multifunctional ballistic armor to cope with the active shooting scenarios. This ballistic armor, enhanced and improved by Atomic technology, could also apply to different police sectors, such as body armor, motorcycle, and existing patrol vehicles. Also, SWAT operation robots, as well as military areas such as tank and drone. Atome can provide a powerful solution to the limitation of ballistic protective material. If your organization is interested in collaboration and improving safety, security, effectiveness of your protective ballistic armor, shield vehicle, drone, patrol robot, or planes, contact us at Atome to start our conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. So. Thank you for presentation on how technology and material innovation are shaping the future of officer safety. It's exciting to see how advanced design can potentially transform protective equipment across multiple sectors. Thank you. So thank you to all speakers. It was fascinating to hear such diverse and innovative perspectives on these important topics. We'll now transition to our Q&A session. Although we are running quite a bit behind schedule, I would still like to briefly ask one question to each of our presenters tonight to spark the discussion. Once we've gone through those, we'll open the floor to the audience. In the meantime, feel free to type your questions into the chat at any time. We'll do our best to get to as many as possible. So let's dive in. I'd like to start off asking Dr. Kang. While each drone detection method you mentioned has its own limitations and blind spots, how is your institute leveraging AI or sensor fusion technologies to enhance detection accuracy and reduce false positives, particularly in complex urban environments? And the follow-up question is your institute exploring alternate goals for AI in drone technology beyond detection, maybe threat assessment, behavioral prediction, or autonomous response coordination?
Thank you for the question. It is very good question, Dr. Kim. And then you are right. So each detection method has its own weakness. For example, RF scanner cannot locate the pilot if the drone is operated without communication with operators. And also, radar cannot search some small flying objects such as some tiny drones. So we try to integrate this method, and also, so in this process, we use the AI how to integrate it. What is the important part of some each detection method, and also we try to develop each detection method, for example, jamming or some radar or some RF scan. And also, sometimes traditional approach is very useful. For example, see something, say something. So it can be applied to detect drone. For example, some drone is prohibited in the area with near power plant, for example. And then if the resident in this area find a drone, and then they can report the drone to the police or some uh, power plant facilities, and then they can be rewarded. So we can use the people to detect drone, but also we try to use some technologies, but sometimes it is very important to think about some traditional method. And also, as you can see, so our institute also involved in some several projects, which is about some AI using to protect power plant. And also, we measure the risks of each facilities. So what is some weakness part of each facilities when they attacked by drones. So we try to measure what is some risk that they face, and also what is some policies, what is some manual. So we try to develop some manual for each facilities, especially for the power plant or some critical infrastructure. So when we developing some manual or some providing some suggestions, we use the AI, and the AI is a very useful tool to measure the risks of level of drone, and also we try to provide some appropriate manuals. And also still, it is not enough yet, but anyway, we are continuing to work, and also we try to develop more advanced technologies by using AI. Thank you.
Thank you. It's exciting to hear that more advanced technology is being invented. So thank you. Shifting from airborne threat detection to ground level protection, I would like to now direct a question to the presenter who spoke about the smart ballistic armor. So Dr. So, with current research pushing the boundaries of robotics and smart protective systems, what specific capabilities are realistically achievable today for high-risk operations? Which technical limitations, such as energy efficiency, environmental adaptability, or human-machine teaming, remains the biggest barriers to full operational deployment?
Thanks for your question. Today, with the rise of AI, the robotics industry is growing rapidly, and it's not surprising that robots are now used in the law enforcement. Realistically, it is achievable that autonomous patrol robot monitor area, detect threat, and alert people. They can be used in actually currently used in the place like airport and malls, power plant, chemical facility, or it could be even school. But practical application, the situation is more complicated. The risk of damage to the robot are higher. Importantly, in the practical situation, the limitation is that time is ticking. We don't have time to repair in a risk operation situation. So, for example, if a police robot take a shot, like a shot, and they lost functionality, like a joint problem or motor problem or any key electronic component, it just instantly out of service, and instead of helping, they become a liability. That's why it is very critical that they need to have a better protection. The AI and robot develop so rapidly, but their protection is not there ready yet. So We need a material that can protect this system while keeping them fully functional under the attack. And if they stay operational, they can work alongside the human in the dangerous situation and helping to reduce their risk. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate that candid overview of that. I would like to also ask Superintendent Park. So, from a global law enforcement perspective, what is one emerging cyber threat from North Korea that remains under discussed but urgently needs greater attention and coordinated preparation efforts?
Thank you for your question, Dr. Kim. In my opinion, the area that urgently requires greater attention and systematic preparedness is artificial intelligence. Those Korean hackers are already utilizing large language models, such as ChatGPT, to enhance their cyber operations. Specifically, they are gathering primarily information about targets, crafting more sophisticated phishing emails, and automatically generating fake resumes to impersonate IT job seekers. In addition, they are utilizing AI technologies for developing automated email sending programs and creating a variety of cyber attack tools. Looking ahead, there is a growing risk that North Korea could produce and disseminate deepfake videos to spread disinformation and cause social unrest and provide cybercrime services via dark web platforms. Therefore, it is crucial that global law enforcement agencies establish much more systematic and proactive measures to address the evolving AI-driven cyber threat posed by North Korea. Thank you.
Thank you. I think your response really demonstrates how North Korean actors are already weaponizing AI from LLM assisted phishing to the looming threat of deepfake disinformation. So it really highlights the urgent gap in global cyber defense. Lastly, I would like to ask Dr. Rowe, facing the rapid rise of AI in criminal justice, what specific legal innovations or frameworks should global nations implement now to protect core constitutional principles into the next decade?
Thank you so much for your question, Dr. Kim. I've thought about this issue a lot in the past 2 years since I've been researching what type of consideration we should prepare as a scholar in the field of criminology, the legal and technology. So we have disadvantage. Why? Because let's discuss about the United States first. Why? Because there isn't any, how can I say, unique and one body, the federal level of government agency controlling the AI regulations. So in these days, maybe based on my understanding, I don't know exactly it's perfectly right or wrong, maybe like 23 or maybe 23 states government passed the rules and regulations in order to regulate the AI technology in each individual state. The problem that I have, that the United States government has, we do not have any unique one single body, the federal level of government controlling all the regulations for AI. And of course, you can definitely make an argument, hey, the presidents can pass the administration, the order, how we can actively regulate the AI, of course. However, it is not that administration, the order does not have any the strong level of how can I say, regulating AI technology. So that is the disadvantage and even current problem on the issue of AI application currently in the United States. On the other hand, the European Union has better situation based on my understanding. General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, has been perfectly passed and enacted, as well as the AI Act. So which means all the countries that are located and the categorized under the big umbrella under the European Union, they have strong regulations in order to protect the individual privacy and individual legal rights. Why? Because compared to the United States, the European Union has very strong the movement and momentum, how we can perfectly protect the individual privacy and legal rights against the technology. So that's why, if you ask me, and if you can discuss why in the near future, how we can predict the situation regarding AI applications in a national, the global national, the scope and perspective, we cannot even guarantee that even in the United States, we don't have any government body to control these issues. So that's why maybe like Donald Trump administration and Donald Trump a personal like a business friendly mind. I'm pretty sure that the current administration have a pretty open mind to all the private company developing and creating and inventing AI application, and even they can definitely pass a lot of our regulations boosting up the companies to create the new techniques. And of course we can have the future, the harms and disadvantage, maybe like our individual, including my family members, including my little one, will definitely directly or indirectly impacted by it. So that's why that is the main reason why I decided to navigate this issue in the past 2 years, and that's why I brought this agenda on this the important and interesting conference in order to share this agenda with you all. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you for your response. Yeah, your presentation really resonated with my own specialization in corrections. So the due process, or how to, what's the due process guardrails, and, embedding some safeguards. So I believe that will be really crucial as AI spreads across the entire justice continuum. So thank you for your insight. Now, thank you so much for your insightful discussion. We'll now open the floor for questions from the audience. Before we proceed to audience questions, we respectfully ask for your understanding that given our speaker's Superintendent Park's current position, he is unable to comment on matters pertaining to the internal security posture of their organization. So we'll take some questions from the audience. If you have any questions, please use the comment or chat section to post your questions, please. Okay, since there are no questions from the audience, so I leave this one question as a general question. In an era of AI-driven defenses, how do we balance public trust with the need for operational secrecy? It's just open question for everybody, every presenter tonight, so please feel free to chime in on that question, and we'll take that as our last question of today's webinar.
Can I initiate the answer?
Yes, please.
I think that is very critical question. At the same time, it's really difficult to answer. Yeah, everything kind of we develop for defense and AI algorithm and autonomous robotics, and we discussed the drone and the everything can also be exploited by adversaries. However, yeah, public trust is not optional. So it is kind of foundational. If the public perceives the AI system as a kind of bias or kind of unaccountable, and then this will be kind of huge issue. So I'm not sure if it's a kind of the solution pieces, but for cyber criminologists and also we have a scientist, right, a material scientist and the politicians and all of that. So whatever we use the technology, I think the most important piece, and to me as a I would say kind of scholar practitioner, so multi-source triangulation. So in other words, kind of combining the inputs from kind of all necessary the test to validate observation and reduce kind of the false positives. And so I think that's a critical. And once we lose that credibility, and then I really see that, and the public not gonna trust kind of the criminal justice practitioners and our practices. So I don't know how we can really do that in every single sector in cyber criminology area, but I mean, so that is critical. So I think that's Dr. So maybe doing it, and the constant testing, triangulation, right, and for the material science and the perspective, and then AI, and so all of that. And even I don't know how we do the kind of policy testing. Maybe I can ask you, all of you, and also how we do that, and even kind of the cyber, right, and the attacks from North Korea and the drone practices. So I think that's my question actually to the speakers here.
Okay, let me add something to this question. So I think it's very important to open the information to the public if it is not related to the secret. For example, Korean police used the drone to search some missing people, but some people are very concerned about their privacy, or maybe they are monitored by the drone. So we opened all information, for example, flying record, the information that we got through this drone. But it is very important to that, so open to the public is very important. And then and also public can ask any question related about some of our technology, and then we try to open many part unless it is related to secrets. So I think it is very important to share the information with the public, then probably we can get some trust from the public.
I have a question too. Yeah, the superintendent part, and so what is kind of your stance on that? And since you are working with the police.
일단 경찰에서 할 수 있는 부분은 사건 수사를 진행하면서 수사 결과를 공공 대중들에게 발표하는 것이 있습니다. 그리고 다만 국가안보와 관련된 부분의 경우는 많은 것들을 다 공지를 할 수 없기 때문에 그런 부분들에 있어서는 저희 내부적으로도 많은 검토가 필요할 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
Yeah, that's definitely publicly available information. So investigative the perspective, and so should be kind of shared with the citizen, and that everybody has a right to understand the due process and procedures and so on and so forth. At the same time, the secrecy of the operation should be not disclosed, pretty much. And so I think that's the kind of standard, I guess. And how about Dr. Lowe? Any comments on that in the policy and legal side, and how we do that?
Yeah, that's why I've already told you that this is just there's no perfect answer, to be honest, at this point in time. But as a learning curve, as you know, I'm not an AI technician. I'm not an AI expert. I just trained for criminology. But I really want to know which side we should go, and even how we can keep balance between these two. As I said before, everybody in this chat room, we're educating for future law enforcement personnel, no matter what kind of uniforms they're gonna wear in our classroom. So in order to help them, in order to help their job in the near future, we will definitely decide on this direction, right? AI applications to help them arrest the criminals well, effectively. We need to utilize and we need to discuss what is the best AI applications in order to help them to decide the exact duration of the sentencing in a courtroom and in a prison facility. No matter what, as an educator for future law enforcement personnel, we should definitely decide on this direction. However, we need to try to think other side, of course. Why? Because I met so many law school professors in South Korea and the United States. They always try to think what is the best way. how we can protect individual legal rights for privacy, individuals, in particular, the AI algorithm or applications accountability. Who's going to be responsibility on this decision? Who made that, and how we know that? So that's why it's going to be a perfect time frame for us to decide which direction we should go, either here and there. And at the same time, simultaneously, we got to think, and we should consider, and even we need to discuss from now on, how we keep balance between these two. I know it sounds like really awkward, it sounds really complicated, but we need to try to think. That's my understanding as a criminologist, somebody who really tried to do something for AI and the legal issues. So that's all what I have.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the insight. I really like the idea, kind of scenario-based kind of testing, right? And so, yeah, we don't know what's coming, to be honest. And so, but I mean, we cannot just neglect it. And so that means, like, I think lots of simulations, prepare, right? And yes.
And Dr. Shea, you know what? Like, the European Union has a very strong regulation, the GDPR, and even the United States, we are pretty open. So comparative research, no matter what kind of the field, in the field of criminal justice, compared to research, either these two continent, to country, to area, is going to be so interesting for everybody. That's my understanding.
Great, thank you. Dr. So, and I know it's a material science and a lot of testing, right, and experiments that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a big question. I don't know if it's a big question, but I saw the suits, the bulletproof suits. Is it possible? Like, I know I saw that in the movie, right, and the action movie here and there. So that means, like, using your material, it can be really kind of feasible. An officer can wear that, U.S. Secret Service, and they can wear kind of a formal suit with the bulletproof.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, let me explain about the public transfer in the standpoint of material development. There is a special protocol called certification. So in order to gain the public trust, we need to pass this certification. Then, of course, there is no certification yet for this ballistic material, particularly for robot. For example, we cannot put just simple ballistic material for robot, because imagine that you have to operate like 5 years or 10 years in the raining condition, and current material, we cannot survive then. And we're going to be reliable on this. So we need to build a new standard and new protocol for the certification. That's how we make this public trust using this certification process. So that's one way. And regarding your question, then can we make this ballistic armor for the people? Absolutely, yes. So depending on the people, they have a different body shape. Like, even if we have the same height, same weight, they all have a different body shape. And it's very simple that we can scan our body using just cell phone. That's not difficult. And put that one into the AI. And then design excellent body armor. For example, someone claimed that body armor is heavy and we can add functionality. Someone claims that body armor currently is too hot. Like I heard that someone claimed that before the hot day, if there's some operation, before even starting the operation, they got exhausted because of this high temperature. And you know that we came from the nuclear community. We kind of know how to cool down the reactor. And of course, we know how to cool down the people. So basically, it is possible that we can build this body armor depending on the people, depending on the functionality, depending on their need. And most important thing is that this material, AI can do many things, but something AI cannot do is this material innovation. And that's where we can provide value in this community.
It's fascinating. Thank you. Yeah, back to Dr. Kim.
Yes. So thank you again to all of our speakers for sharing your time, your expertise, and thought-provoking insights tonight. It was very fascinating, especially for someone who specializes in correction and not much about AI and technology, but this was really fascinating. It's incredibly valuable and engaging discussion. So I'd like to close our webinar today. On behalf of Korean Society of Criminology in America, Korean National Police University, Korean American Scientists and Engineers Association, thank you for joining this US-Korea webinar on AI, IoT, cybercrime, and cyber defense. We look forward to future partnerships and wish you a productive day or a restful evening wherever you are. Thank you, and this concludes our seminar. Good night.